Hello everyone, my name is Ms. Disha Udari and today we'll continue with the second lecture of Human Resource Management. Today we are going to continue ahead with our first chapter, which was Introduction to Human Resource Management. In this lecture, we'll study about the recent trends in IT industry. HR today is a key contributor towards solving organizational issues and achieving relevant business outcomes. In IT industry, the HR manager has to make sure he or she recruits the best IT people that are up to date with the latest technology and also can adapt to ever-changing scenario in IT industry. Okay, so why is this chapter very important? Why is this point of IT in HRM very important? You guys all are the students of BCA, so there are many chances that you will be working in IT industry or IT department. So HRM is a core concept for you. You should know what is going to be in the IT industry, how is the HR environment in the IT industry. Okay, so today in HRM we'll study about how HR is in IT industry. HR today is you can say a main thing because of which a company runs. Whenever there is a best HR manager in the organization, the employees are happier, the output of the employees will be the better, the company will progress with a great speed because HR manager, whoever is there, he or she will help to grow each and every individual according to their strength, according to their potential, and make sure that they keep growing ahead and ahead and that they give the best outputs for the company. Okay, so when an HR is there in an IT company, he or she has to recruit the best IT people that are there in our organization, that are available in the market. The best IT people, the IT people who graduate from big institutes like IIT or some foreign industries or many other organizations, or you can say institutes from which they do their career, from which they do their studies. Okay, so HR's main role is not just recruiting the best IT people who have up to date knowledge or who can change according to the time, but also to retain them. Retaining is also a very important part of HR, or you can say a very important work of an HR manager, and as much as it is important to recruit the HR people. Okay, the main, you can say, function of HR manager is not just to recruit the best people in the market but also to retain them. Okay, it is a very challenging work for HR manager to retain the people in the organization, the employees in the organization. Let's study the following recent trends in the IT industry. Okay, so first is employer brand. What do you mean by exactly employer brand? Employer brand is a term commonly used to describe an organization's reputation as an employer and its value propositions to its employees, as opposed to its general brand reputation and value propositions to its customers. Okay, so this may be looking a very difficult or very tricky word, but this is very simple. You can say brand means what? An image. Okay, whenever we say a brand, a particular brand, let's say Levi's, or Levi's is a shoe brand. Okay, so whenever we think about Levi's as a brand, we think about its clothing, or we think about its shoes and think about what quality of product they provide. So that is a brand. Okay, so what comes employer and brand? If we put these two words together, what do we get is what kind of a company is brand wise from the point of view of employer. You can say when a person wants a job, so whenever he looks forward for a company, which company would be suitable for that person, which company will provide the best pay scale, the best work environment, the best practice, the where he can grow, where there is a lot of potential to grow. When a person is seeking for a job, which company would be best for him, or which is a standard company, or which is a branded company, you can say, is nothing but employer brand. Employer brand means what? Whenever you want to seek a job, which company would you prefer? Okay, whenever you say I prefer, let's say, Tata or Infosys, so that companies have got a major brand. Okay, the Tata company provides the best, you can say, fringe benefits, you can say they provide good quality of work environment, so that becomes the brand, that becomes the employer brand, you can say. Okay, so it is nothing but very simple, you can say, in a simple words you can say that employer brand is nothing but the image of a company that is created if by its employers, from point of view of employees. Okay, the term was first used in 1990s and has since become widely adopted by the global management community. Nowadays employer brand is become a very phenomenal topic. Why has it become a phenomenal topic? Because to now in today's time, the people don't just work for them for earning money, they look forward towards extra fringe benefits, or you can say retirement benefits, or you can say work environment, or you can say adjustment of a company that it can do for its employees. So these all little things are mainly seen by people nowadays, rather than just the monetary benefits or compensation that the employee is going to get. So employer brand has become a very crucial part, because whenever employer brand is better, there is more chance of retention of more employees of in IT sector, and also recruitment of more employees. Whenever a person says that this company gives me a proper workplace to work, it gives me a little bit of flexibility, the company gives me a respect while I work in that company, I get the sense of belongingness to the company. At that time the employer brand is created, the employer brand is hired because of the words like the employee of these employees, and because of that more and more people would like to work in your company, and because of that you can get the best possible human resource whichever is available in market for your company, and the company can grow better and better. So employer brand is a very crucial concept in today's time. Okay, it can be described as an employer brand as an image of your organization as a great place to work in mind of current employees and key stakeholders in external market, active and passive candidates, clients, customers, and third key stakeholders. The art and science of employer branding is thus concerned with the attraction, engagement, and retention incentives directed at enhancing company employer brand. Okay, so employer brand means what? Just nothing but the image of the company in the minds of employees, nothing more, nothing less. Just what employees think about the company in which they are working, that is what is employer brand. Okay, and it is not just about the employees working, it is also that gives the employees, if the employees are happy, the work output will be happy, the work output would be better, the customers will be better, the clients will be better, the whole system gets better and better, the whole system gets upgraded according if there is a good employer brand of the company. If employees are happy, they are going to give their best. If they are going to give their best, the clients will be happy, they will recommend their other clients to go to that company, and that's how the company will keep rolling ahead and ahead. And that's how the stakeholders will be more interested to invest in your company. If there's, let's say, a small company, or you can say a small startup. Okay, so in the IT startup, especially in IT startup, there is a huge amount of funding required. Why is the huge amount of funding required in IT industry? Is because the buying of technology is very expensive. If you go, let's take just an example. If you are a, you can say, IT company, if you want to start a startup, if you are an IT engineer and you want to do a startup, so buying just a computer is not necessary, and computer should be of good quality, computer should be able to work as much as possible. The company's RAM should be minimum 5-6 RAM, 5-6 RAM is necessary. The storage should be great, the computer functions should be great. Not just that, but also the computer should be able to adapt or process function fast, and it should be able to retain all the updated apps that are required to, let's say, create a website, create an application. And and that all that requires a lot of money, and all that requires a good human mind. Okay, the good HR is required for that. When a engineer is very good, of very good quality, he or she will do work easily. He or she knows where is the loopholes, where are not the loopholes, how to give the maximum output with minimum errors. Or otherwise, if you choose a poor engineer, means a normal graded engineer, he would take more time to work, or she would take more time to work, and that would be time consuming, monetary money consuming, energy consuming, and that would not give the best results. So whenever you think about IT startups or IT companies, the investment is very much, because the computers are running a lot of time, because the engineers use a lot of their brains, and there is a chance of burnout of these engineers, because they work continuously over the same thing. There are many errors that need to be removed. They need to be done many changes in design, in pattern, in all the coding. Okay, so whenever the employer gives the best environment to its employees, the company gets a better employer brand, and through better employer brand, the company can choose maximum and best amount of maximum and best quality of employees available in the market. Okay, next we will read the definition. It can be defined as functional, economical, and psychological benefits provided by employment and identifying with employee in the company. Okay, here there are three different terms used: functional, economical, and psychological benefits. Functional means what? Work environment, or you can say how flexible is a company with work from home. Sometimes a person can go to the office, he says, can I do work from home? So how much company is flexible according to the employees needs? That is functional. Next is economical. Economical means the compensation that is provided by the company. And third is nothing but psychological benefits. In psychological benefits, what are the core things in psychological benefits? It is that the breaks that the employees are given: weekly holidays, monthly holidays, some kind of trips for the employees, some kind of games, some kind of entertainment programs. Next you could say would be tea breaks or short lunch breaks, and all these things which provide psychologically sense of attachment, sense of freedom, sense of belongingness to the employees, so that they feel that they can do their best, so they can get the output, maximum output from themselves and to the work that they do. So employer brand is nothing but the functional, economical, psychological benefits provided by the employment and identifying with the employee in the company. Means what? Whenever it's employer brand is nothing in simple words but the benefits or the work that company or an employer does for its employees, and the employee's satisfaction, the image in the employee's mind about the employer is nothing but the employer brand. Okay, next recent trend is competency. So what we'll understand what is the meaning of competency. Competency means the ability to do something successfully or efficiently. So in just basic words, what does competency is? Means your ability, nothing but ability. You can say the skill to do, means you have ability to eat, you have ability to drink, you have, drink water or any kind of liquid, you have ability to, let's say, do your homework, to ability to draw or ability to write. So this is nothing but a competency. Okay, so what is difference between competency and ability? Competency means what? The qualitative work, or whatever work that you're doing, whatever ability you have to do some work, the quality, the qualitativeness of that ability is nothing but the competency. Competency can be defined as combination of observable and measurable knowledge, skills, abilities, and personal attributes that contribute to enhanced employee performance and ultimately result in organizational success. So competency is nothing but combination of everything, combination of how much knowledge you have, what kind of skills and abilities you have, and personal attributes that contribute to enhanced employee performance. Means a particular person, not just that how much knowledge that person has, but also how that person can use that knowledge, his or her knowledge, his or her skills, his or her abilities, his or her different attributes like IQ, or you can say this ability to do work easily, to go with the flow, and all these things to give out the contribute out its ultimate performance. Okay, to bring out the best from himself in nothing but competency. Competencies do not establish baseline performance levels, rather, they are used to raise the bar of an employee's performance. So, basically, competency means what? An ability to do something. Okay, so it not only uses knowledge, but it also uses knowledge, skills, abilities, all these things. Okay, so what, whenever you know somebody's competency means, if let's take an example. What kind of example we can take is a person can draw very beautifully. Okay, let's take a simple example. A person can draw very beautifully. He or she draws a very nice sketches of humans. Okay, so his or her competency is what? In what time that person completes a particular sketch, in what level, in what different kind of skills he or she completed. Example, can he or she do pencil sketch, can he or she do pen sketch, can he or she do watercolor sketches. These all come under competency: the ability, the skills, the knowledge, and the time it requires, he or she requires to do all these things. Okay, so what is competency doing in IT industry, or what is the relation of competencies in HRM? Okay, so HR manager, whenever HR manager is there, he or she knows the competencies of a particular employee that are working in the organization. So what does the companies do, or HR people do in the company? They understand what kind of competency that person has. Example, that a person can do a sketch in 3 hours, so so HR knows a person can do a sketch in 3 hours. So HR person, what does he do? HR manager, what does he do? He doesn't create a baseline performance. He doesn't say that you have to complete a sketch in 3 hours. He'll tell him to do it in 2.5 hours, and he'll say, I want more better than this in 3 hours. So that is how the HR manager helps that person, or helps that employee to push out its limits, to grow potentially. Okay, the competency do not establish baseline performance levels, rather that they are used to raise the bar on employee performance. They provide employees with roadmaps to increase their capabilities incrementally. So when I know a person can do a particular work in 3 hours, so when I'm an HR manager, I ask him or her to do it better quality in 3 hours, or reduce the time and give his or her best performance. Okay, in this way the employee grows, and the output that we get is better and better. So the work of HR manager in here is to look at the competencies that a person has and to make it grow incredibly. Okay, next is competencies focus on organization's culture and values. Consequently, companies select a unique set or combination of competencies that support and facilitate its mission. So competencies means what? Abilities that an employee should have. Okay, so whenever company is there, it is an IT company. So what are the competencies required in an IT company? Would be knowledge of coding, knowledge of working on with computers, knowledge of creating some websites. After that, teamwork, team spirit. After that, you can say working on computers for long hours. Okay, this is another thing. You should be able to work on computer for 3-4 hours at a stretch. Okay, the person should be habitual of working at one place. Okay, after that, what competencies are required in an IT company would be uh, working under stress. Okay, actually it comes under all companies, but in IT also working under stress is important. Whenever a project is given, there are always a deadlines to work on, and usually the clients give the lesser deadline than actually is required. So working under pressure is also one of the competency that a company looks forward for. So in this, HR manager decides what kind of competencies are our employees should have, and select those employees accordingly while while selecting or recruiting the people for our company. Okay, next is competencies reflect the organization strategy, that is they are aligned to short term and long term missions and goals. Okay, companies competencies, what they do, they reflect organization strategy. How do they reflect organization strategy? What kind of employees we select shows directly what kind of work we do. If we select the people who do the best quality work, they take time but they do the best quality of work, so that becomes the brand image of our company. Okay, and that reflects our short term and long term goals also. So let's take an example of let me give you a new example. It is not related to IT company, but it is related with baking industry. Okay, in Pune there is one company, or you can say there's one baker who takes orders only. Okay, that is a shop, but that person takes orders in advance of 2-3 months. And that particular baker come the whatever you can say customers are there, they go prior to 3 months of the date in which they want cake, and they go to there, they select their work, they select whatever kind of pattern and design and all the thing they want, and they make a payment in advance fully. So here what are the competencies we are seeing? They take their good quality, because of the good quality, or because of the great test, or because of the great ability to make, or according to the need of the customer, there's a huge demand for that cake, that customers are ready to wait 2-3 months before. Customers are ready to book a cake 2-3 months ago prior to the event, so that they get the best quality, they get the best taste. So here competency, what we can say, is the quality of the work, is the pattern or work according to the customers. Okay, so here competency so what does this competencies reflect about the organization? That its goal is to provide the best work, its goal is to provide the best taste, its goal is to provide the best kind of experience to its employees, and that competencies reflect all these things. Okay, so next is competencies focus on how results are achieved rather than merely the end result. In this manner, management and employee development are an integral component of personal development plans. So competency doesn't only show what is the output. Competency doesn't only show what will be the output. Okay, but it shows how the output is achieved, how the person has progressed, how the employee progresses, how the whole process happens, and in that there is a wide scope of employee development. Excuse me. In this, how does an employee develop? How does a company develop? Is because whenever the HR selects an employee to do a particular work, he or she looks forward first for the thing about how is the how are the competencies of the particular employee. Okay, then that person, that HR manager, gives the target which and challenges the current competencies of the particular employee, and that gives a scope, or that gives a way for the employee to grow. Okay, so this is how competencies help in growing more. Competencies help in personal development of the employees. Okay, next is competencies close skill gaps within the organization. Competency is a list of things that we want from the company, we want from the employees, sorry. So whenever we have a person, we suppose we need 10 different points of competencies for a particular work, but we have an employee who has 9 different types of competencies which we need. So the employee, so HR manager, puts that person in that place and helps that person in development, and that competencies help in closing that gap. Okay, I have different 9 skill sets, and the requirement is 10. So so the HR company selects me and gives me a chance to grow there, gives me a little bit of training, so that I can complete whatever task is there, whatever project is there available, and that is how competencies help close the gap between the organization skill. So the person has grown from 9 competencies to 10 competencies. Now that person knows 10 different kind of skills. So the personal development also happens, and whatever skills that are required Okay, so now next part we'll study is business process outsourcing or BPO. It is commonly called as BPO. What does exactly business process outsourcing means? Business process outsourcing is a method of subcontracting various business related operations to third party vendors. Although BPO originally applied solely for manufacturing entities such as software manufacturing companies that outsource large segment of their supply chains, BPO now supplies to the outsourcing of services as well. So, what exactly is BPO? BPO is nothing but taking a little part of our daily work and giving it to some third party. Okay, let's take an example for this. Let's take an example in manufacturing company. Let's take an example of a biscuit creation company. Okay, a company that manufactures biscuits. Let's say the particular company is famous for making biscuits of just a biscuit. Okay, then the company wants to expand its products, and then the company decides to make cream biscuits, the usual the biscuits that come with the cream filling. Okay, so what does this company do? Instead of making the cream, which is not very, they are not used to it, or they do not have expertise on that creation of cream, what they do is they buy the cream, ready made cream from outside. They manufacture the biscuits, and they put the and they do it together, and they make it together by filling the cream in the sandwich, and then packing it and selling it. And the name of the product is about the company that is selling biscuits rather than the company that is creating cream. Okay, in BPO, what it is, there is no ownership of the person from whom the cream is bought. Okay, the name is only of the company of biscuits which is creating biscuit, and not the company of the cream that is creating the the company that is creating cream for the biscuit. Okay, so BPO is what, taking some part of the work, means cream making, taking the manufacturing of cream and giving it to third party, and they making things done from that third party. Okay, companies that have PPO practices in two main areas of back office and front office operations. Okay, whenever you say a company back office and front office, what do you mean by back office and front office? Back office means the backside works that happen, and front office means what, the front side works we can see. Example, you can say, let's take an example of a college. Okay, let's take an example of a college. In college, what are the front operation, first front office office operations, and what are back office operations? Front office operations would be teaching or office official work that whatever happens in the office, like payment of fees, scholarships, etc. This is front office operations. What is back office operations in this? It would be, you can say, creation of syllabus, you can say managing of HR, whatever is managing of number of professors that are in that particular college, or you can say payment to all these people. Okay, so this is what is back office and front office operations. Okay, back office PPO refers to company contracting its core business operations. Okay. BPO generally refers to a company contracting its core business operations such as accounting, payment process, IT services, human resource, regulatory compliances, and quality assurance to outside professionals who ensure the business runs smoothly. In IT industry, BPO plays a very important part. Okay, how does the BPO plays a very important part? It is because in IT industries there are many little functions that are given to freelancers in an organization, like creation of website. The main work of let's say a company is to create an application for that company, create applications for the clients. Okay, so instead of creating doing whole work of coding analyzing, checking all these things. What does a company do? He or she, that particular company hires an IT professional, a freelancer IT professional, that and tells that person to create the website for that company, to create the website for that app, so that a little bit of work burden can be reduced of the company, and it can get the best, you can say, quality of work, because the little bit of load of the company is shifted to a third party who works only on contract basis. Okay. So next is, by contrast, the front office BPO tasks commonly include customer related services such as tech support, sales, and marketing. Okay, that was back office. Now we'll study of front office. In front office, what? Front office means dealing with customers, dealing with directly with clients. That is what is front office work. Okay, so front office BPO, in that front office BPO, the customer related services like call centers or dealing with customers face to face, that is given to somebody else, that is given to freelancer, that is given to some other company work. Okay, that becomes a front office BPO. The breadth of functions that can be outsourced today spans from conventional back office tasks such as accounting, data processing, and payroll processing to digital services such as social media marketing to customer support roles such as call center operations. And in today's time, in today's market, the social media marketing is a very important thing that is done in BPO, that is done as BPO by IT companies. Okay, social media marketing means what? Basically means promoting the brand, promoting our product on social media, on various platforms of social media, like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or you can say YouTube. All these places, all the social media marketing is today a very vital role of whole marketing. Okay, so IT companies are usually given this work. Sometimes IT companies are given this work as a BPO, and sometimes IT companies give other people this work as BPO. This work plays both ways. BPO works in both ways. Some small companies of IT get this kind of BPOs. Some small companies, or you can say a startup company, gets the work of social media marketing. Okay, and that company, so that IT company, whatever startup that is, that promotes the company by creating its pages, by creating its accounts all over the internet, and work accordingly, because that is at the end of the day, social media is nothing but a technology, and work with according to that technology. Okay, so this is how BPO is for IT industries. Thank you for listening very much. Okay.